Zone Realty goes virtual. Changes. It's the real estate show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name is Rick Naples. I am the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home. Changes. We all see them. It's part of life. We change, we adapt, we modify things that we do to better fit a situation. Now, when this happens in business, we see businesses start to shift. Now, we've seen a lot of things happen over the course of these last 2 or 3 years. The COVID pandemic, different things in the economy, what's happening locally, have all caused businesses to make adjustments. And those that successfully make those adjustments have survived. But we've also seen things change to the point of where negatives have started to appear. Now, we're all experiencing the cost of things going up. We're all experiencing prices going up. We're looking at the housing market and we're thinking, geez, house prices have gone up, interest rates have gone up, things have changed. So we need to adapt, we need to change, we need to modify in order to meet those needs. Buyers have to make adjustments in the ways that they approach to purchase a house. Sellers have to make changes in the way that they're looking to market their homes. And of course, realtors, who are quite honestly experts at change, have to make adjustments in order to keep their businesses going. Realtors are self-employed individuals, so they must constantly be shifting the way that they do things in order to make a living. Now, does this mean that we're going to see realtors not be important? No, we're going to see realtors still stay out there, but we're going to see the way they do things a little bit differently. Now let's talk about offices, especially the Zone Realty office. Now I've had an office for Zone Realty for a number of years. I've been a realtor for a number of years. And I found that I have to make adjustments in order to keep going. You've got to look at your expenses. You've got to look at the way you're spending your money and what kind of money is coming in and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of folks are working from home. And realtors have found that they work from home more than they ever did before. With the onset of the access of technology through the internet, there's really no reason to go to the real estate office anymore. Now, I know there's a lot of pros and cons. I mean, we've seen some businesses adapt and some businesses go away. And I'm not saying the real estate office is going to go away, but we're going to see it morph into something different. As for Zone Realty, I've made the decision to close the physical office and go completely virtual. Now, what's that mean? Well, without an office, a bricks and mortar building, I don't have those expenses anymore. I don't have a rent to pay. I don't have Wi-Fi fees to pay, electric to pay, heating to pay, and so on and so forth, which makes me as an individual business person able to adjust to the market and the way that I expend money. Now, having said that, you have to understand that realtors are not salaried individuals. We're not compensated by hour. We don't get a salary. We work strictly on commissions. And unfortunately, commissions are not a steady income. They come when houses close. They come when you make a deal and the deal closes. Unfortunately, the world is still set up in such a way where payments that are due on things are due based on a calendar. So sometimes the income coming in and the payments needing to go out don't coordinate. I'm sure a lot of you that have jobs that rely on income that's kind of, I'm not going to say unreliable, but not steady, make it difficult in order to keep up with those obligations. So you have to make financial adjustments. You have to make adjustments. In business, you make adjustments in order to go forward. And as I said, Zone Realty has gone virtual. Now, what does that mean? What's that mean to clients that are out there, people that are working, say, with Zone Realty in order to buy or sell a house? Quite honestly, it makes no difference. The business model is still the same. Still going to be going out showing houses, still going to go meet with people to list their properties, still going to be marketing the homes the way I do, still going to be doing the real estate show, and so on and so forth. It's just that I don't have a physical office location to go to every day with the expenses that are involved. Now, you say to yourself, well, without an office location, how are you going to work? Well, it's like I just said earlier. I'm going to work from home. I have a rather nice setup at my home as far as my office is concerned, and I can still occasionally, if I had to meet a client at my office for some reason, I can still invite them to my home, and we could still sit in my home office and still do what we would do in a separate location. So that part of the business model is going to stay the same. Technology has given us a lot of opportunity, a lot of different things to do as far as being able to do things online. So you're able to see us do our business using the technology through the internet. And that has basically changed a lot in the last few years. Now, you don't even have to physically go into the real estate office in order to sign paperwork. The agent doesn't necessarily have to physically come out and meet with you in order for you to sign documents. It can all be done through DocuSign or AccuSign or all these different programs that are out there, and through emails where you can sign things. And this is great because if things are time sensitive, you don't have that timing to worry about. You can send somebody a document, they can sign it and send it back. It takes a few seconds. It's honored in a court of law. It's honored in the way business is done. It makes a big difference. Now, showing houses, that's going to stay the same. Even though we have the internet and even though you have the process of being able to look at homes via online, tour houses, look at floor plans, look at those virtual tours on houses, look at the pictures and so on and so forth. I don't think we're ready to go completely to buying houses without physically getting inside of them. So realtors will still be going out, still showing houses, and that part of the business is not going to change. So going virtual, it's a big change for Zone Realty. It's a big change for me, but I think it's a positive change. Let's take a look at this quick little presentation. I'll be back to talk more about changes again. So what now? Zone Realty's gone virtual. I don't have a physical office to go to. I'm working out of my house. What kind of adjustment is that? I mean, what now? Well, I'll save a little bit of gas. I won't have to drive into an office every day. My agents will work from their homes like they've been doing. We can meet via the internet. There are meetings, Blackboard, Zoom meeting, different types of sources where you can meet face-to-face via the computer. We can physically meet if we need to by just meeting at a location, go to a restaurant, meet for coffee somewhere. So that aspect is still going to be possible. I had someone say to me most recently, well, without an office, how do you have your business meetings? I mean, what about your sales meetings? What about your training for agents? What about, this thing, that thing? Well, that again can all be done one-on-one at my home office or through the computer. We all email. We all text. We all do different types of social media. There's plenty of ways for clients to be in touch with their agents and agents to be in touch with their brokers without necessarily having to go to a physical office. Now, will I miss having a physical office to go to? Well, I'm an office guy. Every industry that I've been in for years and years have always had an office building, an office location that you would report to every single day. But real estate is a little different. Real estate is pretty much done out there in the field. Agents spend a lot of time behind the scenes doing a lot of research and a lot of background and a lot of, putting together things for their clients. And that's all become easier because of the technology that's offered through the internet. We do our market analysis by going to visit the home and then going back to our office at our home, wherever it might be, and putting together the numbers in order to make a listing proposal to a seller that's looking to put a house on the market. We also use our computer in order to look at those homes that fit what a buyer's need is and schedule showings in order to take our buyer clients out and show homes. So the physical office is just not necessarily needed. Now, we're going to see real estate offices still out there. I'm not saying that real estate offices are going to follow this trend of going completely virtual. But we have seen in the last few years completely virtual offices start to pop up. There are a lot of real estate agencies that are out there that do not have physical office locations. They're completely online. And this has started the trend where those of us that have had bricks and mortar, actual physical offices, have looked to become more lean and become more office efficient by closing the physical office. Does this mean that it's going to hurt the industry? Does it mean that clients are going to be apprehensive in doing business with a company that doesn't have a physical office? Well, for some people it might. For the majority of people, I don't think it will. Realtors have always made adjustments. Realtors have always done things that they need to do in order to adapt to what the market tells them to do. Now, whether or not that's trying to make adjustments with their buyers as far as who to hook them up for a mortgage officer or the mortgage programs that are out there, making recommendations for home inspectors, making recommendations for repair people or whatever it might be, those things are going to pretty much stay basically the same, but the realtor themselves is morphing. The realtor is starting to make a change. The physical office we're going to see scale down to a little smaller. Now let's talk about the big companies that are out there. Some of those big real estate companies have multiple offices and thousands of agents. But if you look under the covers, if you look at the way they're set up, 90% of their agents don't go to the office. They work from home. I was once told by another broker, a friend of mine, who said that, geez, without a physical office, how are you going to get agents to come work for Zone Realty? Just the way everybody else does. It's not going to make a change. But for me, because the income is different than what a paycheck might be, it allows me to operate leaner. And what that does is I can now work smarter instead of harder. Let's take a look at this presentation, and I'll be back to talk about something else that realtors do that's really common with other people too. Side hustles. What's a side hustle? Well, it's the term that we've kind of put on that extra job. How many of you out there have found that you've had to take a second job to your primary income? Things have gotten expensive, so we need that additional income in order to make ends meet, right? There are some of you out there that work 2 or 3 jobs in order to keep up with rents and keep up with the cost of things and so on and so forth. Well, realtors are no different. A realtor is a self-employed individual. They have no steady income coming in. Their income is only commissions. And that commission money that comes in is split a number of different ways between their broker, between the other agent representing the other party, and so on and so forth. And then there's the taxes and the fees that are added on top of that. So the income is not what you think the income is, and it's not paid until a deal actually closes. If a deal falls apart, well, all the hours the realtor has put in, he doesn't get paid. They don't get paid. So you have to make adjustments for that. So some realtors have what they call a side hustle. They have another job that is not their primary source of income, but it's steady income. Now I want to mention steady income for just a moment. Steady income is a set amount of dollars that you know are coming in every single week, every single month. And unfortunately, our world is based on steady income. So realtors find it really hard to do things other people do, like for instance, get a car loan or get a mortgage loan, get a personal loan, because the banks are looking for steady income. So a lot of times, because someone is commission-based, they will get a side hustle, a side job, to have that source of steady income to allow them to do other things. Now, do I have a side hustle? Do I have something that I do on the side? Yes, I do. I actually teach. My teaching responsibilities are part-time. I do a little bit of modeling. I do a little bit of acting. I do a little bit of this here and there in order to generate additional income. And that income takes care of my living expenses. I can then use the commissions that I earn in real estate to run my business. And that goes back to my decision of going completely virtual, of being able to close a physical office and not having that expense anymore. Side hustles are something that have become very necessary. It's another way that we've changed or modified how we go about our daily lives and make our livings. It's a way that we have found to try and make ends meet. Now, side hustle sounds like it's something suspicious, but it's not. It's just an additional part-time job just to get extra income coming in. Not your primary source of income, but it's that little bit of extra money. I've seen people not even have part-time jobs. I've seen them do other things using the technology of the internet. Have you ever sold anything on, say, Marketplace or through eBay or through, Craigslist or all the different sites that are out there? Well, that can be considered a side hustle. Have you ever done a tag sale? Have you ever done, chores or jobs for someone where you get paid on the side? That's a side hustle. So again, side hustles are nothing different. They've been around for a long time. I myself have a little bit of a side hustle. I'm sure a lot of realtors do. I'm sure in some cases some of you do too. Let's take a look at this presentation and I'll be back with some final comments. As you go through life, as you go through different challenges, you have to make adjustments. You have to alter the way you do things, change things up a little bit, make modifications. Change is a good thing. Change is a positive thing. And for us here at Zone Realty, going virtual, we believe, is a nice step to make the changes we need to make in order to meet the future market and the future needs of our potential clients. My name is Rick Naples, the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC, gone virtual. I'll see you next time.
The Saybrook Fish House in Canton has been serving fresh seafood, chicken, and steak entrees for 34 years, offering 3 cozy dining room settings, a newly renovated pub with craft beer, wine by the glass, specialty cocktails, and a lighter fare menu. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Reservations accepted for parties of 2 to 42, and gift certificates are also available. The Saybrook Fish House, nestled at the crossroads of Route 44, 202, and 179 in Canton.